Happy Easter, everybody! Welcome to Easter Jam. Who's excited? My name is Pastor Nate, and I have the privilege of being the children's pastor here at the Point Church, and I'm so pumped for what's about to happen. Before we get started, though, there's only one thing you need to know. You ready? Easter Jam is for everybody in your family. So if you're a teenager, this is for you. You too, college students. And if you're a younger kid, get ready. We're about to have some serious fun, and we need you to lead the way. Adults, buckle up. This is Easter like you've never done it before. No matter who you are, we want you to know that Easter Jam is for you too. The only way to not have fun is to not participate. So look around you. Is anybody missing? If so, hit that pause button and go get them now. We're getting started in 3, 2, 1, and go!
Easter, a time for fake grass, plastic eggs, these things, chocolate bunnies, and people dressed as bunnies. And then there are the weird parts of Easter, like fake grass, plastic eggs, these things, chocolate bunnies, and people dressed as bunnies, which is interesting. But what does all this stuff have to do with Easter? And if this holiday is about more than candy and wearing uncomfortable clothes to church and lunch with your relatives, what makes Easter happy?
Okay, hear me out. There are only two kinds of people in the world. People who love these things, or people like me. I just don't get it. How can you love something so cute, yet so grainy? Listen, let's see how your family feels. Show me a thumbs up if you love to eat those things, or a thumbs down if you don't. Okay, there's a lot of different opinions out there. No matter how you feel about eating Peeps, you're gonna love this game. Your family's gonna face off in the greatest Peeps jousting competition of all time. I'm gonna explain how it works, and then I'll tell you when to start. First, divide the room into 2 teams. Next, take 2 Peeps and assign them to a team, just like these ones. Thank you, Arm, you're so great. If you don't have any Peeps, no worries, big marshmallows will work as well. Team A gets Peep A, and Team B gets Peep B. You can come up with cooler names like Lord Sugarcoat or Sir Sprinkles. You get the idea. You can also use a marker or a Sharpie to decorate your Peeps to give them some more personality, like a mustache, a fancy outfit, mean eyebrows, or even a cool looking top hat. Let your creative juices flow. Next, you need to prepare your Peeps for battle. So stick a toothpick in each of your Peeps. Thank you so much, just like this. Ding-a-ling, thank you, Arm, you're getting so good at this. Perfect. Thank you, Arm. So then you have to place them on a microwavable plate, and no social distancing necessary. You want the Peeps to be close together and facing one another. Finally, time for the big event. Gather around the plates in the microwave, setting the timer to 45 seconds. You won't let that run that long. In fact, don't let it run that long. Then press start. Watch from a safe distance until the Peeps drop their toothpick sabers and one touches the other. The toothpick that touches the other Peep first wins. And as soon as this happens, you're gonna wanna stop the microwave. Trust me on this one, families. Okay, it's time to settle this thing. Don't forget to snap a pic of the photo finish. It's go time. Press pause now, and I'll wait here. How'd it go? Who won? I want pictures, so post them with the hashtag EasterJamWithThePoint. I have to admit though, that was more fun than I thought. And also, this happened. Oh, poor Mr. Sugarcoat. He's gone, he's melted. Oh, are you ready for another game? Listen, for this one, you're gonna need a laundry basket and socks. Lots of socks. Clean or dirty, doesn't matter, as long as they have a match. If you need to, go grab those things now. Press pause, and then I'll explain the rest. All right, you got your basket and your socks? Great, now choose 2 people to play. You'll also need 2 people to be scorekeepers. To get started, dump all those socks on one side of the room, and don't worry, those socks will make their way back to the basket real soon. Then place the basket on the other side, and when I say go, players will grab a sock, go through the pile to find the matching one, roll the socks together in the shape of a ball, or like an Easter egg, and then toss them like this. Boom, did it make it in? No point for me. All right, the player with the most sock eggs in the basket at the end of the timer wins. And if you don't have scorekeepers to help you count, you'll have to keep up with that number on your own. That means everybody's on the honor system. All right, parents, I'm looking at you. All right, so if needed, press pause now to get everything and everyone in position for the game. I'll wait right here. Everybody ready? Great, we're putting a 1-minute timer on the clock. This Easter egg throwdown is happening in 3, 2, 1, and go! All right, families, come back over here. Who won? Okay, that was wild. Whoever won gets socks! Just kidding. Adults, make sure whoever won the challenge gets a special treat today. Maybe one of these things. Okay, or maybe not. I hope you're having fun so far because we're celebrating Easter, which is awesome. And if you don't know the whole story of Easter, that's okay. Because today we're talking about what makes today, maybe more than any other day of the year, a happy day. But before we get there, I know you have a lot of family and friends who would love to hear from you. And to make that happen, we have a few options. So pause the video and pick one of the challenges on the screen to wish your peeps a happy Easter. Wow, so I just got like 9 messages from you guys. You guys are the best. Even though we're celebrating a little differently than we have before, that's okay. Easter is still happy. And that's not just because of the PEEP wars or Easter baskets or chocolate bunnies, although those things are awesome. It's still happy because of what happened a couple thousand years ago at the very first Easter. It's the world's most powerful story, and yet it's so simple. So simple that it can be told with laundry. And you'll recognize some of our storytellers today.
In the beginning, God created everything.
He formed people in his very own image.
But then we turned away from God.
Sin entered the world like a dark stain.
Still, God loved us so much that he made a plan to deliver us.
At just the right moment, God sent his very own son, Jesus, to live among us.
Jesus healed hearts and minds and bodies.
Thousands of people gathered to hear him teach.
Instead of giving us lots of rules, Jesus turned things upside down by making it simple.
Love God, love others.
After 3 years of traveling and teaching,
Jesus and his disciples entered Jerusalem to celebrate the Passover feast.
Huge crowds gathered around to welcome him.
But while the crowds cheered for Jesus,
the religious leaders made plans to arrest him.
He was turning their world upside down.
And they wanted him gone.
As Jesus celebrated the Passover meal with his friends,
he told them that he would be leaving,
but would return.
His friends didn't understand.
That night, one of Jesus' followers, Judas, led soldiers to arrest him.
Religious leaders gave Jesus a fake trial.
And then sent him to Pilate, a Roman governor who could have him killed. But Pilate found that he had broken no law and tried to release him. But the Jewish mob, they demanded that he be killed. So Pilate gave in and handed him over to the Roman soldiers.
Jesus was forced to carry heavy beams from his own wooden cross.
On a hill called Golgotha,
The soldiers nailed Jesus' hands and feet to the rough wood.
The soldiers and the people who walked by laughed at him and mocked him.
But from the cross, Jesus asked his Father to forgive them.
Finally, Jesus called out, "It is finished."
And then he died.
The earth shook and rocks split open.
Even the soldiers cried, "Surely he is the Son of God."
One of Jesus' followers took his body
and placed in a tomb cut from a rock. A huge stone blocked the entrance.
Jesus' friends were devastated.
They believed that Jesus was the one who God promised would rescue them.
But now he was gone.
Their whole world had been turned upside down.
Jesus' friends stayed hidden in fear for 3 days.
But early Sunday morning,
Mary Magdalene, a close friend of Jesus, hurried to the tomb.
She planned to anoint his body with special spices.
As Mary neared the tomb,
saw that the stone had been rolled away. The tomb was empty.
Mary turned to see a man standing near. She didn't recognize who it was at first until he said, "Mary." It was Jesus. He was alive. But Jesus said, "Don't hold on to me.
I have not yet ascended to the Father.
Instead, go to those who believe in me.
Jesus, God's Son, became like us to lay his own life down for us.
Through his power, he defeated death for all of us.
Sin was washed away.
One day, he's promised to return so we can live with him forever.
Wow, I hear that story every Easter, and it always amazes me. I mean, God sent Jesus, his son, to the world to remind me that he is greater than anything that could go wrong in my world. The simple fact that Jesus came back to life is proof to me that I can face anything bad that happens. I like to think about it this way. I can because Jesus is alive. I can keep loving because Jesus is alive. I can be brave because Jesus is alive. I can have hope because Jesus is alive. Here's an idea. Take a few minutes and add to this list of things that you can do because Jesus is alive. Answer this question as a family. How could you fill in the blank? I can blank because Jesus is alive. Pause the video while you discuss, and when you're finished, meet me back here. Awesome. I love conversations like these because remembering what God has done in the past helps me to trust him with what's going on in my life right now. I hope that's true for you too, and I hope you spend the rest of the day making happy memories with your family. And to get you started, here's one last challenge. For this one, you'll need to decide who is the technology genius at the house. Maybe it's a step-parent, an aunt, or an 8th grader. Either way, decide who that person is now. Got it? Awesome. As soon as this video is over, I want you to go outside and take a family Easter photo. You can be dressed up or in your PJs. It can be totally normal with smiley faces or silly ones with those filters that turns your face into a bunny rabbit. No matter how you do it, take a family photo and make it awesome. Then share it to social media and remember to use the hashtag EasterJamWithThePoint so we can see your family's awesome style. Maybe now more than ever, this is the time to celebrate and remember God's faithfulness and the hope he gives us in Jesus. After all, that's what makes Easter so happy.
The greatest day in history. Death is beating, you have rescued me. Sing it out, Jesus is alive. The empty cross, the empty grave, life eternal, you have won the day. Shout it out, Jesus is alive. He's alive. Oh, happy day, happy day. You wash my sin away. Oh, when I stand in that place, realize meeting face to face, I am yours, Jesus, you are mine. In this joy, perfect peace, earthly pain finally will cease. Celebrate, Jesus is alive. He's alive. Oh, happy day, you wash my sin away. Oh, happy day, I'll never be the same. Forever I'm changed. I'll never be the same. Oh, what a glorious day, what a glorious way. You have saved me, and oh, what a glorious day, what a glorious name. Oh, happy day, you wash my sin away. Oh, happy day, I'll never be the same. Forever I'm changed. I'll never be the same.
Thanks again for coming to Easter Jam, and I hope you had a blast, because I know I did, playing a couple different games, watching that Easter story, and seeing some very familiar faces. And I want to remind you that this sort of thing happens every single week at the exact same time. So remember, Jesus is alive. I'll see you next week.